Welcome back to the channel, Coins Numismatic Series, where hidden value meets everyday pocket change, and ordinary coins reveal extraordinary stories. Today's video is going to take you deep into a fascinating category that many collectors often overlook: dirty, circulated Washington quarters that may look worn, stained, and unremarkable at first glance, but can still carry surprising value, unique characteristics, and even rare error possibilities hidden beneath that heavy layer of circulation. If you've ever held a quarter that looked dull, dark, or heavily used and thought it had no worth beyond face value, think again. In this video, we're diving into 5 specific Washington quarters, all examined in their dirty or heavily circulated condition. Let's begin. 1982. P. Washington quarter dollar coin dirty condition. The 1982 P. Washington quarter represents a continuation of the long-running Washington quarter series, which has been in production since 1932. By 1982, the United States Mint had fully embraced clad coinage, meaning these quarters were composed of an outer layer of copper-nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This composition replaced the earlier silver quarters that were discontinued in the mid-1960s. The 1982 P quarter was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, as indicated by the P mint mark located on the obverse side near the date. Historically, the early 1980s was a period of economic adjustment in the United States, marked by inflation control efforts and changes in monetary policy. Coin production remained high to support everyday commerce, and quarters were among the most heavily used denominations. Millions of 1982 P quarters were minted, ensuring wide circulation across the country. As a result, finding this coin is easy, but finding it in exceptional condition is much more difficult. The design of the 1982 P. Washington quarter follows the classic and iconic portrait of George Washington on the obverse. The inscriptions include "Liberty," "In God We Trust," the date 1982, and the P mint mark. The reverse features the familiar heraldic eagle design, with the eagle holding arrows in one talon and an olive branch in the other. Surrounding the eagle are the inscriptions "United States of America," quarter dollar, and "E pluribus unum." In dirty or heavily circulated condition, the coin often loses much of its original luster. Surface wear, scratches, and accumulated grime can obscure fine details. Washington's hair may appear flattened, facial features may lack sharpness, and the eagle's feathers on the reverse may be heavily worn. Dirt can accumulate in the recessed areas of the design, giving the coin a darker tone or uneven appearance. Despite this, the overall structure and key identifiers remain visible, allowing collectors to still recognize and evaluate the coin. The mintage of the 1982 P. Washington quarter was substantial, reflecting the high demand for circulating coinage at the time. Because of this high production volume, the coin is not considered rare. Most examples found today are in circulated condition, with many showing signs of heavy use. Dirty examples are especially common, as these coins often spent years moving through commerce before being stored, lost, or saved. In terms of market value, the 1982 P. Washington quarter in dirty condition typically remains at face value. However, value can increase depending on specific factors such as overall condition, eye appeal, and the presence of mint errors. Coins that retain stronger details despite circulation may appeal to collectors who are assembling complete date and mint sets. Additionally, error coins can significantly enhance value. Some known errors that may appear on 1982 P quarters include off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, doubled dies, and strike-through errors. Even in a dirty state, if such an error is clearly visible and authenticated, the coin can command a premium in the collector market. Collector interest in the 1982 P. Washington quarter is primarily driven by its role in complete quarter sets. Many collectors aim to build collections that include each date and mint mark, and circulated coins serve as affordable placeholders. While high-grade uncirculated examples are preferred for premium collections, dirty circulated coins still hold value for those who appreciate completeness and historical continuity. These coins also appeal to beginner collectors who are just starting out and want to explore the hobby without investing heavily. Even in worn condition, collectors examine the coin for subtle indicators such as strike sharpness, rim definition, and edge composition. The clad edge should display a visible copper core sandwiched between outer layers of copper nickel. This copper stripe is a key diagnostic feature of clad quarters and helps confirm authenticity. Despite the dirt and wear, these structural characteristics usually remain intact. In summary, the 1982 P. Washington quarter in dirty condition is a common, yet meaningful coin within the broader Washington quarter series. While its monetary value is typically limited in circulated condition, its historical context, widespread availability, and potential for mint errors make it a relevant piece for collectors. It represents a snapshot of early 1980s U.S. coin production and continues to serve as an accessible entry point for those building Washington quarter collections. 1984 P. Washington quarter dollar coin dirty condition. Moving forward, we now examine the 1984 P. Washington quarter in dirty condition, another widely circulated coin from the mid-1980s that reflects the continued stability of U.S. coin production during this period. At first glance, a worn and dirt-covered 1984 P quarter may seem unremarkable, but like many modern circulation coins, it carries significance for collectors who study mint history, circulation patterns, and error varieties. The historical context of the 1984 P. Washington quarter is rooted in the ongoing clad coinage system that had been firmly established since the late 1960s. By the mid-1980s, the U.S. Mint had refined its production techniques, producing large quantities of quarters to meet the demands of everyday transactions. Quarters were essential for commerce, especially in vending machines, public transportation, and retail environments. The 1984 P quarter was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, as indicated by the P Mint mark on the obverse. The design remains consistent with the traditional Washington quarter format. On the obverse, George Washington's portrait is prominently displayed, accompanied by the inscriptions "Liberty," "In God We Trust," the date 1984, and the P Mint mark. The reverse features the heraldic eagle design, with the eagle holding arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing strength and peace. The inscriptions "United States of America," "Quarter Dollar," and "E Pluribus Unum" complete the reverse. In dirty condition, these elements may appear softened, with wear reducing the sharpness of Washington's hair and facial details, as well as the eagle's feather definition. Dirt and grime often accumulate in recessed areas, giving the coin a darker or uneven surface tone. The mintage of the 1984 P. Washington quarter was high, reflecting consistent demand for circulating coinage. As with other quarters from this era, the coin was produced in large numbers and entered circulation widely across the United States. Dirty examples are commonly found due to years of handling, exposure to environmental elements, and storage conditions that may not have preserved the coin's original surface. In terms of market value, the 1984 P. Washington quarter in dirty condition generally holds a value equal to its face value. However, certain examples may attract interest from collectors if they exhibit better than average detail or unusual characteristics. Coins in this condition are often used to fill gaps in date and mint collections. While circulated coins are not typically high-value items, they remain essential for building complete sets and understanding the circulation history of the series. Error coins, however, can significantly enhance the value of a 1984 P quarter. Known mint errors that may occur include off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, doubled dies, and strike-through errors. Even when a coin is dirty or heavily circulated, the presence of a clear and verifiable error can make it more desirable to collectors. These errors are often identified through careful examination and can sometimes go unnoticed in everyday circulation. Collector interest in the 1984 P. Washington quarter is primarily centered around its inclusion in full Washington quarter sets. Many collectors seek one example of each date and mint mark, making this coin a necessary component of such collections. Circulated examples provide an affordable option for completing sets, especially for beginners or those building collections over time. Advanced collectors may focus on higher-grade examples, but circulated coins still play an important role in documenting the coin's real-world usage. Even in dirty condition, the 1984 P quarter can be evaluated for key features such as strike quality, rim definition, and edge composition. The clad edge should reveal the characteristic copper core visible between the outer layers of copper nickel. This feature helps confirm the coin's authenticity and composition. Despite wear and dirt, these structural aspects typically remain intact, allowing for accurate identification. In conclusion, the 1984 P. Washington quarter in dirty condition is a common yet historically relevant coin within the Washington quarter series. While its value in circulated condition is usually limited to face value, its importance lies in its role within the broader context of U.S. coinage, its availability for collectors building complete sets, and its potential for mint errors that can elevate its significance. Like many circulated quarters, it serves as a reminder of the everyday role coins play in commerce, while also offering collectors an opportunity to explore subtle details that may reveal something more than meets the eye. 1985 D. Washington quarter dollar coin dirty condition. Continuing our numismatic series, the 1985 D. Washington quarter in dirty condition represents another widely circulated modern coin that often goes unnoticed in everyday pocket change. At first glance, a worn and dirt-covered example of this coin may appear common and unremarkable, but it still carries important insights into U.S. minting practices during the mid-1980s, along with potential collector interest when examined closely. The historical context of the 1985 D. Washington quarter is rooted in the stable era of clad coinage that had been firmly established since the late 1960s. By 1985, the U.S. Mint was consistently producing copper-nickel clad quarters to meet the high demand for circulating currency. The Denver Mint, indicated by the D Mint mark on the obverse, was responsible for striking a significant portion of the nation's quarters. During this time, quarters were one of the most frequently used denominations in daily transactions, ensuring continuous production and wide distribution across the country. The design of the 1985 D. Washington quarter remains consistent with the classic Washington quarter design introduced in 1932. On the obverse, the coin features a left-facing portrait of George Washington, along with the inscriptions "Liberty," "In God We Trust," the date 1985, and the D Mint mark. On the reverse, the coin displays the heraldic eagle with wings spread, holding arrows and an olive branch. Surrounding the eagle are the inscriptions "United States of America," quarter dollar, and "E pluribus unum." In dirty or heavily circulated condition, these design elements may appear worn down, with Washington's facial features and hair losing sharpness, and the eagle's feather details becoming less distinct. Dirt, grime, and oxidation can accumulate in the recessed areas, contributing to a darker, uneven appearance. The mintage of the 1985 D. Washington quarter was substantial, reflecting the ongoing need for circulating coinage in a growing economy. Coins from this year were produced in large quantities and widely distributed, making them common in circulation. Dirty examples are frequently encountered due to years of use, environmental exposure, and handling. Many of these coins have passed through countless transactions before being stored or lost, which explains their worn condition. In terms of market value, the 1985 D. Washington quarter in dirty condition typically holds a value at or near its face value of 25 cents. Circulated examples are abundant, and most do not command significant premiums unless they exhibit unusual characteristics or are in unusually good condition for their age. However, collector value can increase if the coin displays mint errors or notable varieties. Potential errors on the 1985 D quarter include off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, double dies, and strike-through errors. Even in a dirty state, if such an error is clearly visible and authenticated, the coin can attract collector interest and command a premium over standard circulated examples. Collector interest in the 1985 D. Washington quarter is primarily driven by its inclusion in complete Washington quarter date and mint sets. Many collectors seek to assemble full runs of quarters, and circulated examples provide an affordable way to fill gaps in a collection. Dirty coins, while not visually appealing in the traditional sense, are still valuable for their historical authenticity and accessibility. Beginner collectors often start with circulated coins before moving on to higher-grade specimens, making coins like the 1985 D quarter an important entry point into the hobby. Even in dirty condition, collectors examine the 1985 D quarter for details such as strike sharpness, rim definition, and surface integrity. The edge of the coin should show the clad composition, with a visible copper core between the outer copper-nickel layers. This feature is an important diagnostic tool for confirming authenticity. Despite wear and accumulated grime, the overall structure of the coin remains intact, allowing for accurate identification and evaluation. In summary, the 1985 D Washington quarter in dirty condition is a common but meaningful coin within the Washington quarter series. While its monetary value in circulated condition is typically limited, its historical context, widespread availability, and potential for mint errors make it a relevant piece for collectors. It reflects the steady production of U.S. coinage during the mid-1980s and continues to serve as a useful and accessible coin for building complete collections and studying circulation patterns. 1991 D Washington quarter dollar coin dirty condition. Now we move to the 1991 D Washington quarter in dirty condition, a modern circulation coin that represents the continued evolution of the Washington quarter series into the early 1990s. While a worn and dirt-covered 1991 D quarter may appear ordinary, it remains an important piece for collectors who focus on complete date and mint sets, as well as those interested in circulation history and mint production during this period. The historical context of the 1991 D Washington quarter falls within a period of economic stability and consistent coin production in the United States. By the early 1990s, the Washington quarter had been in circulation for nearly 6 decades, and the clad composition introduced in the 1960s had become standard. The Denver Mint, identified by the D Mint mark on the obverse, continued to produce large quantities of quarters to meet nationwide demand. These coins were used extensively in everyday commerce, including vending machines, retail transactions, and transportation systems. The design of the 1991 D Washington quarter remains unchanged from the traditional Washington quarter design. The obverse features George Washington's portrait facing left, with inscriptions including Liberty, In God We Trust, the date, 1991, and the D Mint mark. The reverse displays the heraldic eagle with wings spread, holding arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing the balance between military strength and peace. Surrounding the eagle are the inscriptions United States of America, quarter dollar, and E pluribus unum. In dirty or heavily circulated condition, these design elements may appear worn and softened. The details in Washington's hair and facial features may be less defined, and the eagle's feathers may show significant flattening due to long-term circulation. Dirt and surface grime can accumulate in the recessed areas, giving the coin a darker and sometimes uneven appearance. The mintage of the 1991 D Washington quarter was high, as the U.S. Mint continued to produce large numbers of quarters to support circulation needs. As a result, this coin is commonly found in circulated condition, including dirty examples that have been in use for many years. These coins often show signs of heavy handling, environmental exposure, and storage in less than ideal conditions. Despite this, many remain structurally intact and easily identifiable. In terms of market value, the 1991 D Washington quarter in dirty condition typically remains at face value. Due to its abundance, circulated examples are not considered rare or highly valuable in standard form. However, certain coins may attract attention if they are in better than average condition or display unique characteristics. The presence of mint errors can significantly increase value. Possible errors for this issue include off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, double dies, and strike-through errors. Even in a dirty condition, a clearly identifiable and verified error can make the coin more desirable among collectors. Collector interest in the 1991 D Washington quarter is mainly tied to its role in complete Washington quarter collections. Many collectors aim to gather one example of each date and mint mark, making this coin an essential piece for completing a set. Circulated and dirty examples are often used as affordable placeholders, especially for collectors who are assembling sets over time. While high-grade uncirculated coins are preferred for premium collections, circulated coins remain valuable for their accessibility and historical representation. 1998 P Washington quarter dollar coin dirty condition. As we continue through the numismatic series, We now examine the 1998 P. Washington quarter in dirty condition, another modern circulation coin that reflects the consistency and widespread use of the Washington quarter series in everyday American commerce. At first glance, a worn and dirt-covered 1998 P quarter may seem like an ordinary pocket coin with little significance. However, when studied more closely, it represents an important part of late 20th century coin production and remains relevant for collectors building complete Washington quarter sets. The historical context of the 1998 P. Washington quarter lies within a period of economic growth and stability in the United States during the late 1990s. By this time, the Washington quarter had already been in circulation for over 60 years, and the clad composition introduced in 1965 had become the standard for all circulating quarters. The Philadelphia Mint, indicated by the P Mint mark on the obverse, was responsible for producing large quantities of these coins to meet the demands of a growing economy. Quarters were widely used in daily transactions, including vending machines, parking meters, retail purchases, and public transportation systems. The design of the 1998 P. Washington quarter follows the classic and well-known Washington quarter design created by John Flanagan. On the obverse, the coin features a left-facing portrait of George Washington, along with the inscriptions "Liberty," "In God We Trust," the date 1998, and the P Mint mark. On the reverse, the coin displays the heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, clutching arrows in one talon and an olive branch in the other. The surrounding inscriptions include "United States of America," quarter dollar, and "E pluribus unum." In dirty or heavily circulated condition, these design elements may appear worn and less defined. Washington's facial details and hair may lose sharpness, and the eagle's feather details can become flattened due to prolonged use. Dirt, grime, and oxidation often accumulate in recessed areas, giving the coin a darker tone or uneven surface appearance. The mintage of the 1998 P. Washington quarter was substantial, reflecting the continued high demand for circulating coinage. Coins from this year were produced in large numbers and distributed widely across the country. As a result, the 1998 P quarter is commonly found in circulation, including in worn and dirty condition. Many examples have been used extensively in commerce before being stored in jars, collections, or accumulated as loose change over time. In terms of market value, the 1998 P. Washington quarter in dirty condition typically holds a value equal to its face value of 25 cents. Because of its high mintage and availability, circulated examples are not considered rare in standard form. However, collector value can increase under certain circumstances. Coins that retain better than average detail despite circulation may attract interest from collectors assembling date and mint sets. Additionally, mint errors can significantly enhance the coin's desirability and value. Potential errors associated with the 1998 P quarter include off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, double dies, strike-through errors, and other minting anomalies. Even in a dirty condition, if such an error is clearly visible and authenticated, the coin may command a premium above its face value. Collector interest in the 1998 P. Washington quarter is primarily centered around its inclusion in complete Washington quarter collections. Many collectors aim to assemble full date and mint runs, and circulated coins like this one serve as affordable and accessible options for completing those sets. Dirty coins are often used as placeholders or starter pieces for beginners entering the hobby. While high-grade uncirculated examples are preferred for advanced collections, circulated coins still hold value for their role in documenting circulation history and providing a tangible connection to everyday use. Even in dirty condition, collectors carefully examine the 1998 P quarter for key features such as strike sharpness, rim definition, and surface integrity. The edge of the coin should reveal the clad composition, with a visible copper core sandwiched between outer layers of copper nickel. This edge detail is an important identifying characteristic of modern quarters and helps confirm authenticity. Despite wear and accumulated grime, these structural elements typically remain visible, allowing collectors to accurately identify and evaluate the coin. Another aspect of interest is the uniformity of modern minting processes by the late 1990s. By this time, the U.S. Mint had achieved consistent production quality, resulting in coins with relatively uniform appearances compared to earlier decades. However, variations in strike strength and surface preservation can still be observed, especially in circulated examples. Dirty coins often highlight the effects of long-term handling, environmental exposure, and storage conditions, which can alter their appearance over time. In conclusion, the 1998 P. Washington Quarter in dirty condition is a common, yet meaningful coin within the Washington Quarter series. While its monetary value in circulated condition is generally limited to face value, its importance lies in its role within complete collections, its representation of late 20th century coin production, and its potential for mint errors that may increase its appeal. Like other circulated quarters, it serves as both a functional piece of currency and a collectible item that reflects the history and evolution of U.S. coinage.